Hello, welcome to So Dramatic, where we're bringing fantastic ideas to life. Today I want to talk again about silk ribbon embroidery. This is Group 2, and there's the threader and the ribbon needle that we're going to use. These are some colors I'm going to try out for today. I think I'm going to use this pink linen rather than the blue. Look, that's just going to disappear into there. And I want it to pop straight out while we see if I happen to like how it looks or the stitches. Mind you, we'll keep in mind that this is my first time and it's got to be bad before it can be good. So there are going to be some pretty wonky looking stitches, I have no doubt. All right, let's go. All right. So I've got the ribbon in, or I had the ribbon in. Let's try that again, shall we? I'm going to leave quite a tail on this one. So we do this just as we would a normal lazy daisy stitch. Except that we're trying to pull kind of loosely and then come out, and since we're going to do another one over here, come in. Now this design is a two-parter, which is why we're going to do like 4. Oop. Nice and loose, because you want volume in the stitch, right? This one's more correct. There we go. Yeah, you just pull it open. Nice. And for this last one, I'm going to try it with the same thread instead of doing two-tone. Okay, then we're going to come up through there. And out. That's the full stitch. That one's a little tight. And I will put the yellow ribbon in for the others. Okay, so for this next edition, I want to come up, and when I come up, I want to come up inside the circle. Again, inside the circle. Oh, look at that. Hang on. My hands were super dry, so I needed to put some hand cream on. Hand cream is essential when you're doing this, because my skin was so dry that the little flakes of it were catching just parts of the ribbons and stuff and pulling them out of the needles and whatever. Okay, I'm going to try this one on the outside now. Oops. Did you see that? It had a massive twist in it. Yeah, this is tricky. All right, last color. Oh, that one's bright. Look at that. These are obviously intended as a floral accent, or I can see them being used that way. That one's really stark. Look at that. It's quite the image. But you know what? I'm looking at pictures in the book of this being used, and I can see, yeah, that's going to be fantastic. For this one, I wanted to show a rosette followed by a loop flower. I've only done the rosette a couple of times. And you want 5 spokes. So I'm going to do that like that. And I'm just going to make the spokes of the wheel, leaving the ribbon free. Normally I would do this before I put any ribbon, but the ribbon was already poking out, so here we are. I'm just taking extra care not to catch the ribbon. The points of the spokes don't even have to properly meet at the middle because they're just being used as anchor points. Don't do that. For some of you super smart cookies out there, I know that you know already what I'm going to do. So like I said, these are anchor points. So with the ribbon, I'm going to go over under, and I'm going to turn as I do it. Twist the ribbon slightly as I go. You don't want to go through the thread, just underneath it. Oop. And don't pull too tight. Because it's the twisting of the ribbon as well as the over under that gives this effect. My spokes would be the same color more or less as the ribbon so that it doesn't really show up too much, but I wanted you to be able to see the spokes clearly. Okay, so I checked my materials, and apparently 5 spokes is supposed to be correct, so I think I made an error at some point. So we're going to go under, skip 1, under, skip 1. Oh yeah, under. Okay, that is working. I must have just screwed up somewhere. All right, and that is a pretty rose. Look at that. So cutesy. Okay, I can see that easily being just the first part of a rose, and then you could put some more spokes if you wanted to change color and continue outward. I could see that. All right, now we're going to try the Montano knot and the loop stitch for the rosette together. So the loop flower and the Montano knot, which is another way to make some rose or other kinds of flowers, maybe ranunculus, any kind of flower looking thing. So we're going to make a loop by going just like that, but we're going to leave a long tail. We're not going to pull it taut. It needs to be loose so that the Montano knots can hold it down. I think this one got a little bit twisted. That is okay. All right. I'm going to do it again. Just a little bit in from where you want the loop to lay. And we're going to do, by eye, a 5-spoke flower. All right, well, I thought I could get away with using 2 ribbons, but then I caught the blue ribbon with my finger and pulled the petal flat, which was not what I wanted. It's like doing a French knot, but with ribbons, where you're trying to ensure the ribbon doesn't lay too flat. Okay, I think my loops needed to be way bigger. This time, instead of doing everything by eye, I've made some spokes with a 4B pencil, and I'm placing the needle about 2 millimeters in from the end of the pencil mark, so that I know that that's how big I want the loop to be, so that the loop comes around and lays flat against the end of the pencil line. I think that making the spokes is a lot better, because doing it by eye, sometimes it ends up a little bit wonky and weird, and I want the loops this time to be big enough that when I do the bullying stitches, it won't look bizarre and the flower won't look too small for the pistils. I've got the thread. I want you to see the stitch happen. I think I will come up through the fabric. Oops. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Now, I need to grab a nearby piece of the ribbon. Pull this taut, but not too tight. I don't know. The process of doing bullion stitches is so different with ribbon than it is with embroidery thread. With embroidery thread, I find this a lot easier. I think on future projects, if I'm doing this, that I would probably use embroidery floss at 3 strands over ribbon, just to make ease of production a lot easier. Or increase ease of production, rather. That's what I mean to say. Oh, and this was so hard too, because I kept moving the ribbon and screwing up the petals of the 5-point flower. All right, so I think that on this type of rose that it turned out okay. A second set of 5 petals could have been added. I think this would work a lot better with a wider ribbon with these, or a smaller rose with embroidered bullion knots, or beads. I think beads would work fantastic as well. I don't love this one over here, but you know what? It's okay. The first couple are going to be terrible like this. They could be a lot better. They'll probably get a lot better. I have to really think about where I want to use these and how I want to use these. All right, so on to the next stitch. All right, I'm back to the lipstick color. And for this one's called the plume stitch. And so for the first part of the stitch, we're going to go in behind like that. See it? And then pick up. Yeah. Pick that up. Grab the back. And just leave it like that. Now, this is similar to a back stitch. So we're going to come up. And then down into there. Oops. Give ourselves a little bit less of a tail. And I think I want to turn with it slightly. And then stab the loop. Well, from what I can read here, that a twisted loop is just the same as a plume stitch, only you twist it on purpose. So I'm just going to twist the ribbon. Oh, and you don't exactly come up in the same place. So there's the twist. And instead of back stitching it, we're going to come up through the ribbon itself. I don't know if I like this, you guys. It's doing something that I don't like. I think I would rather push the stitch down into it than bring it up through it. Okay. And just to tack it down in place, let's do one more of these. I'm really liking these. I really like the way that this plume stitch works, but I don't like this so much. Not unless we're doing something where we come up here and then we twist and hold it down, maybe with a pin or whatever, and then hold it down with beads and stuff. That's perfectly fine. See, that one was all right. And then I'm just going to go just a little bit up in behind there. Oops. Don't worry, there's almost nothing we'll put in that you can't pick out if you really don't like it. See? Nice big, oops. Shit. Every time I grab the back, I keep pulling on it is the problem. So I'm going to push that in, fix the backdrop, pull this out just a little bit, and in. There's another pretty cute bullion stitch. I really like them. Yeah, I can see how these have great potential for different applications. All of these loop stitches, they're all loop stitches. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more of these in the future. All right. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.